During the past few years, I have experienced firsthand a higher level of conflict across multiple organizations, no matter the industry. This conflict escalation has generated higher stress and dissatisfaction among the workforce. Add to it the pandemic we are experiencing worldwide, and it feels like we're all living in crisis mode 24/7. However, it is interesting to note that there are several organizations worldwide which are thriving and experiencing outstanding leadership outcomes, increase in their production output while keeping their workforce satisfied and fully engaged. So, what do you think the secret is about these organizations? Simple. The top management and their C-suite believes that conflict is essential for any work activity throughout their days. Actually, some leaders have even said and stated, without a good fight, we don't accomplish anything. I have had the fortune of consulting with an organization that has these views. I can tell you when I was brought in, the reason was so I can basically facilitate multiple strategic meetings across the organization while ensuring respectful behavior from all. I must admit, at first, I was skeptical about the approach of this organization. You see, their top management welcome all complaints and disagreements from the workforce without any repercussion. From my experience, that is easier said than done because any disagreement and complaint, many times what happens, we take it personally. What I learned from my experience of working with this organization is that they have placed an importance in four major behaviors. And let me share those with you. Number one, focus on the facts. They are adamant that they need to solely focus on the facts, and those facts need to be updated and revetted and re-updated weekly, daily, monthly. They believe by basically focusing on the facts and seeing how the facts evolve, you set aside any personality conflict and you're just focusing on concrete data. Number two, multiply the alternatives. So instead of trying to solve a disagreement with one or two alternatives, these top managers are saying, let's double the size of how many alternatives we're looking at. Actually, the CEO I've been working with, in a recent disagreement that was going on back and forth between his C-suite, and there were three alternatives we were looking at, he basically guided me and said, I want 6 alternatives. And if my team cannot come up with the 3 additional alternatives, I'm going to open it to members of their own teams. I can tell you some new members were brought into the conversation, and actually like 8 alternatives were brought up, and an amazing final result was identified by all of them. Number 2, don't take yourself too seriously. I know that sounds funny, but it was impressive to see throughout the facilitations of this organization how much laughter I heard during these meetings. This was the result from the top management saying that they behaved like nothing was life or death. They basically instead, everybody needed to embrace the time to breathe and laugh while keeping each other real. And last but not least, number 4, create common goals. No matter the department, the top leaders always made time to identify one common goal on a quarterly basis that was easily attainable, that everybody in the organization was working towards. This goal was basically in addition to all the different goals and objectives they had in their respective department. But what was interesting is that they always met that wider goal. And that wider goal actually also brought some compensation for them. It wasn't that it was monetary. Maybe it was a compensation of a free Friday afternoon for everybody, of a free lunch that people got a gift card in order to go and have lunch, etc. It was basic compensation that they all thrive for and they all work towards. I can tell you this last behavior was very helpful for me as I facilitated multiple meetings, because when we got to a point that we were not agreeing and people were disengaging, I was always able to bring them back to all the goals that they had reached for the past several quarters. And it was amazing how their eyes lit up and they felt so embedded and so basically devoted to the organization, so they were not going to give up. So these four behaviors of focusing on the facts, having multiple alternatives, don't take yourself seriously, and create common goals can be easily implemented for you on your daily life. Think about it. So take the time to figure out how you're going to implement these, and then let me know how it goes by commenting below. I encourage you to add these four behaviors to your daily life. And I also encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Speaker Elizabeth Suarez, for more information like this one. I look forward to staying connected. See you next time. Nos vemos.